Okay, this is a little bit different to something that I'd usually do. This is me with a microphone in my hand talking about something that I know hardly anything about, but something that I feel like everyone is valid to have an opinion on because it is the talking point at the moment in the world. It's absolute madness. If you didn't already tell from just that, I'm obviously talking about the coronavirus, obviously known as COVID-19. Um, just now, well, not just now, in the last few hours, Italy has been put down lockdown. So Italy is just off bounds now. Um, do I think people take it seriously? Not really. I think people are seeing it as fear mongering and just a fake crisis made by the media. But I think it's this mindset that makes the virus ever more deadly than probably any virus we've had. People seem to think that it's a joke, that this isn't a serious thing we're dealing with. Obviously, the high percentage of the deaths are feasible to look at have been people over the age of 60. I don't think anyone young of it has died. Obviously, I don't do much research on it because I'm just a guy that makes flash videos on YouTube. But obviously, they had this big discussion on BBC News about whether companies should pay you during the sick time off. And obviously, people on these 0 hour contracts and people who work self employed. Obviously, I don't work self employed and I also don't work on a 0 hour contract. So it doesn't really apply to me, but I understand that there shouldn't be a situation where people have to choose between their health and their job because I've been in a very similar situation, obviously not in a virus. I took some time off work with mental illness and anxieties, so work paid me for so long until then I physically couldn't afford to live unless I was in work, so I had to come back to work. And I couldn't imagine the mental, you know, what are the words I'm looking for? I couldn't imagine the mental strain and stress on someone who has had to take time off work with the coronavirus. Obviously, the government do say self-quarantine yourself. So if you do feel like you have something wrong with you, self-quarantine yourself. Do not be stupid. The main thing that I've been seeing on Facebook and Google and Twitter and all these places is that people are raiding shops. Literally hundreds of people are raiding shops. They're buying hand sanitizer. They're buying toilet roll, food, soup, long life milk, everything that's got a long expiration date on it is just gone. I'm going to be perfectly honest, since the virus has got to a point when they're having to shut off places, I haven't been in one. I haven't been in a supermarket where to see. Now, the area I'm in isn't very, it's not very, I don't want to say scared. It's not a very easily moved area. There's a lot of stubborn people. So, like where I live, nothing's changed. Nobody's moved. Nobody's wearing masks. Like some people wear masks as jokes, and that's where I think to myself sometimes, maybe they aren't taking this as seriously as it should be taken. Obviously, this is a disease, a virus. Flu, people say flu is also a virus, and there's a much higher mortality rate with flu than there is the coronavirus. The coronavirus has only just arrived, so they need to keep that in mind. Um, Honestly, it's just wild. I've not seen something this crazy. I've an outbreak since ever. I'm obviously not that old, but people have just descended into madness. I think that if I was to take one thing away from everything that's happened so far with the virus, it's that people need to start taking this a little bit more seriously. They also need to slow down a bit. And when I say take it seriously, I do not mean raid shops and buy everything you can get your hands on. That's such a far stretch away from what I'm going for. I mean more of, you know, do wash your hands every half an hour or so. Try to avoid when you're in public places with public contact with people. Try to avoid touching your face, eyes, mouth. But I think the main thing to do is just make sure you're watching out for the symptoms. I've been the BeanSprout boy. Thank you for listening to my 5 minute rant. I hope that you're having a good night and goodbye.